Hi everybody and welcome to part number 3 of this web scraping tables with Selenium tutorial. Now what we want to do is we want to export the data. Okay, so let me just provide a heading here. So this is the export of the data. Alright, now this is our heading. Okay, and first of all we start with the CSV. Afterwards we want to export the data in an Excel file, then inside the JSON file, and finally inside the PostgreSQL database. Okay, so number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here, as you can remember, in the last video we have stored the data inside the DF population. Okay, this is our data frame, this is the variable. Here it was actually created, right? So for now, we can just make use of it and export it. So here in this example, let me just target df population dot to, and you see here we can actually extract it inside this different parts if you want to. Okay, so here we have CSV, dict, Excel, whatever this is, and so on and so forth. So you see here we have a lot of different opportunities here. Okay, but for now let's go ahead and make use of the .csv method. Okay, and here I want to provide a name, so let's go ahead and this should be population.csv. okay, this is our extension. This is very important, otherwise it will break, right? So here we have a name. Afterwards, we can actually provide a separator. So the separator should be a semicolon, right? Next one, we want to make use of the encoding, and it should be encoded NUTF-8sig. Okay, so actually you can play a little bit around, but for me, I found out that this works perfectly fine for me. And the index should be false. Alright, now I can run the cell, and you have to open up your folder where your notebook is stored. For me it's this one, and you see here this is the CSV file. Let me just make a double click here, and now you see that now we are able to see the data here, right? This is what I want to have. Next one, I can proceed with the Excel file. So let me just go back here, and in the next step I want to do almost the same, right? So let's say df population to underscore Excel. Okay, here I want to say it's the population underscore Excel dot xlsx. This is right now important. This is the Excel format. Okay, and at the Excel extension, this is very important, otherwise again it will break. Then what I also want to do is I want to put index as false. Let me just run this cell here. Okay, open up the folder again, and you see here that this Excel sheet was just created. So let's go ahead and make a double click on this, and now you see here this is actually our Excel file, right? And here if you want to, you can play a little bit around and format the table, choose another color if you wish, and so on and so forth. Okay, for now I just want to leave it like this. Okay, play a little bit around if you want to, but for now this is our Excel file, and I know the first file looks almost the same as the second one. But actually, if you take a close look here the first one is the Microsoft Excel, comma, separate values, which is CSV file, and the second one is the Microsoft Excel worksheet. So here we have two different file types. Next one, let's export it inside the JSON file. Okay, let's say df population dot to underscore JSON. Right, let's give it a name. Let's say population underscore JSON dot JSON. Okay, so this is actually population population underscore JSON. This is the name. This is the extension. Okay, that's it. And again, if you want to play a little bit with the attributes, go ahead and do it. For me, I found out that this works just perfectly fine. So orient equals to records. Okay, and you can actually look all these things up in the documentation if you wish. Then we have lines equals to true, and force ASCII equals to false. Okay, let's run this one. Open up the folder, and you see here I have this JSON file which was created just in this second. So double click here. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this is not necessary for us, but here actually we have now created this JSON file here. I know this is pretty small, but for example, if you want to, can go to view, go to horizontal split, and now actually you see, so actually do we have a difference here? Let me just take a look. Vertical, horizontal, okay, got it. Understand, okay, there is nothing special for this, but you see here we have all the columns here, countries, population, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is actually our JSON file, and the last one, we want to extract it inside the Postgres database. Let's go ahead and do it. And as you can remember, in the very beginning of this tutorial, we have imported the SQL-alchemy library, and now we have to make use of it. So first and foremost, I want to provide the engine variable. Let's go ahead and write down SQL-alchemy dot create engine, right? And now let's provide inside this quotes Postgres colon slash slash Postgres colon, right? And here I have to provide my password for my database. Okay, so here for simplicity reasons I've chosen 1 2 3 4 5. I use it for all my tutorials. And then we have to provide one @, then we have to target the local host. Okay, and the local host for me it's 5432. Okay, so make sure you have written down all these numbers when you have set up the PostgreSQL database and the PG admin interface. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. After we've provided our engine variable, we have to export our data. So it's again dfpopulation dot to underscore Excel. Sorry, not Excel, SQL or SQL. And then let's go ahead and say the name should be population, right? Then the second argument is the engine, which we have created here, correct? And the last one, the last argument is index equals to false. This is it for now. All right, so let me just run this cell. No error message. Let's open up the PG admin interface. And you see here I have 6 tables all in all. These are the tables from my last tutorials. If I go ahead and refresh it, you see now I have 7 tables. And the last one, the population table, was actually added. Now let's take a look at the data. Let's go ahead and make a simple SQL statement. Let's say select star from population, semicolon. Let's run this cell here, and voila, you see here that now we are able to see all the data which we have extracted in our notebook using Selenium. Okay, so this was actually it. And I would say if you have any kind of questions, please let me know. And in the next part of this tutorial, or in this whole video series, you will be introduced to web scraping or table scraping using a beautiful soup. Okay, so this was actually it for the Selenium part, and I see you in the next section. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.